Here's what I think a new episode of Abbott Elementary might look like. Janine is getting emails from a parent mistakenly thinking she's the school psychologist. This parent is asking for advice about her marriage drama and tax problems. Since the school psychologist is on maternity leave, Janine decides to respond, hoping to help. In a talking head, Janine says, "I wanted to be a psychologist growing up. Then I saw The Sixth Sense and I thought, I do not want to talk to dead people, even if they are polite. So, teaching it is." Ava and Jacob find out about this, and Ava says to Janine, "Someone's asking you for advice? On what? How to always have food stuck in their teeth?" Jacob says he took sensitivity training in college and suggests he and Janine role play to come up with better responses. Ava, on the other hand, says they should bring in more clients and start billing by the hour. When Jacob and Janine's responses actually start helping this parent, they decide to do a home visit. While there, Jacob and Janine disagree about how to advise the parent and start fighting in the living room. Jacob yells at Janine, "You're not even a psychologist, you're just the dean of emotional chaos." And finally, the parent steps in to mediate and resolve their conflict. When they get back to school, Janine gets one final email from the psychologist on maternity leave saying, "Thanks for covering for me, but please don't." Meanwhile, Barbara and Melissa are rummaging around in the basement looking for an extra desk when they find an old yearbook. They look through it and gossip about their old coworkers. Barbara points to a teacher in the yearbook and says, "Isn't this the woman who complained to the superintendent about you breaking dress code when you wore that Eagles jersey? I wonder what happened to her." In a talking head, Melissa says, "I don't have to tell you anything. I know my rights." They bring the yearbook upstairs and Gregory notices a teacher in it who looks exactly like him and taught the same grade and ran a gardening club. His name was Edward Gregory. Gregory spirals while Melissa and Barbara lean into it. Melissa says, "You even dress like him. I guess nerd is a style that transcends time." And Barbara says, "He looks like he had better posture." Mr. Johnson says reincarnation is real. In a talking head, he says, "In my last life, I invented the spork. That was before Big Spoon shut me down." The scary part for Gregory is that no one actually remembers this teacher ever working at Abbott, and he's worried that will be his fate too, and he will never have made an impact. Gregory goes crazy until he tracks down the retired teacher who is 87 and lives in Florida. He Skypes with him and learns that this teacher hated his job and only did it so he could put on movies and nap at his desk and call it teaching. Barbara and Melissa reassure Gregory that this teacher was forgotten because he didn't make himself part of the community. They tell Gregory that he will always be remembered by his students and coworkers because he loves his job and it shows. The episode ends with Ava flipping through the yearbook. She spots a picture of Mr. Johnson from 25 years ago looking exactly the same. In a talking head, she says, "Either that man moisturizes or he's immortal." In a follow-up talking head, Mr. J says, "Both."